Hey, happy Tuesday. Good morning from Wisconsin. And I am on here this morning to talk about that dreaded thing called inflammation. And something that I have learned about inflammation is that all of our key components, our macronutrient things, are everything plays a role in inflammation in our body. And what does that mean? That means our diet, what we put in our body, affects how our body handles and processes and how we create or lose inflammation. Dr. A shares, and I wanted to just touch on this, all 6 microhabits: habits of weight management, the habit of eating healthy and getting your hydration, the habit of healthy motion, the habit of getting healthy sleep, the habit of a healthy mind, and the habit of healthy surroundings. All those factors play a role in our body and help us to combat and fight the diseases the inflammation causes. And I was sitting here at my desk and I was reading this that talked about sitting is like the number one new thing that's going on. Sitting disease is the number one thing that it's even bigger than smoking that's affecting our health. And I decided to stand up and move my body. And while I'm doing that, I decided I'm going to talk about what I'm learning. Because if I'm talking about what I'm learning, it kind of seeps in a little bit deeper into my own psyche and my own understanding about why I'm on this path to create health for my life and why I want to continue on the path. So the things I'm going to share are actually tips that Dr. A shares in his Habits of Health book. So we have this awesome reference guide. It is a reference guide that we use when we're walking on our journey and we're just trying to understand why things do what they do, and it just provides a great understanding. And I love that I can just pop open this book any given day and learn something new about myself and tips to help me move forward in my health. So as I am moving forward in my health, I thought I would like to share with you some things that Dr. A has shared with us via our Habits of Health book. And I am all about transforming lives. So maintaining a healthy weight is one of those tips. It's a factor in inflammation, keeping inflammation in check. Paying attention to your caloric intake, that we want to keep that lower, on a lower level. We don't want to pile on the heavy calories into our body. We want just enough to sustain us. That's a challenge, just saying. It's not an easy thing, right? But as we process and we start working on this, I have learned that I actually eat more food and consume less calories overall as part of this journey that I've been on. So we don't necessarily have to starve, which was a mindset I carried in my own heart and mind before I got started on this journey. So that was a big thing to know. But he talks about eat good foods that are rich in omega-3s, monosaturated fats. Avoid the bad fats, the trans fats, the saturated fats, and the animal fats. The excess of omega-6. So we're avoiding some and we're bringing some in of the healthy fats. Talking about avoiding overcooked or charbroiled food. If you like your food burnt, that burnt stuff is actually, it goes into our body and it press a process in it, and it actually causes some inflammation. So cooking our food, but not overcooking or burning our food. And for those of you who like your food burnt, it takes time to learn how to eat it a little differently, right? Talking about eating more fruits and vegetables, especially the low glycemic vegetables and antioxidant rich colored vegetables. I have found that my new eating plan, my new eating style is so full of color. Our plates are so darn colorful and beautiful. And I also have paid attention to the glycemic index. It was something I never really paid attention to before. And honestly, I thought that when they said you could get your stuff in fruit and vegetables, that if I only ate fruit, that would be okay. But what I found was the glycemic index of most of the fruits is still pretty high. And so to get the nutrition you need, the vegetables are going to keep you on the lower glycemic and not trigger sugars. For a girl who suffers. I don't suffer. I am learning to contend with sugar addictions. Those higher glycemic foods can actually, over time, trigger my body to crave sugar. So I'm learning that I want to stay on the lower glycemic end of the fruits and the vegetables, but I also am not I'm not eating 7 servings of fruit, just saying. I used to do that. So it's a change that I have made in creating health in my own life. Eating more whole grains and getting that fiber in. One of the things I actually love about our program is the fiber content in everything we eat is the exact ratio that we need. So the carb, the protein, and the fiber ratio is very specific and nutrient dense. That really helps me stay on track. In the course of the day, I know that my grab and go goodies in supporting my health journey, I know that they are full of all the things I need. I got the right fiber. I'm not just putting empty calories in my body anymore, but they're actually energy dense food. And the fiber is such an important part because it helps us process and feel full. Avoiding sugar and highly refined carbs and the high fructose corn syrup. So many people talk about, I don't eat processed food. And I don't know, on my own journey, I didn't really understand what processed food was. And so to say I'm not eating processed food, if I'm eating macaroni, if I'm eating bread, if I'm eating anything that has enriched anything in it, it's processed. So I love the fact that I got to learn about what truly processed food is and why consuming it is hard on our body and why it actually adds to our inflammation issues. Since I started this journey, that's been a big part for me because I have a lot of predisposition to people in my family with cancers. And one of the things I've learned is that carbs, those processed carbs, are actually like gasoline on a fire. And so I learned to douse that by eliminating as much as possible. When I'm reading labels, if it says enriched, it doesn't have a right. It does not earn a right in my cart. It was something that just gave me so much value because there's a lot of things that don't get in my grocery cart anymore because of that one word, or the other word that is very dangerous to me, high fructose corn syrup. Those are things that just, because now I understand, they just don't earn a right anymore. I didn't know how those things impact and give us the inflammation in our body. So that was something that I found a lot of value to. And they talk about cooking with anti-inflammatory herbs and spices, getting rid of the sodium. There's so much natural sodium, or using it sparingly. I know so many of us. And that just helps us retain the fluid and not process it through. So being mindful of the foods we're eating, if there's stuff out of your own garden, you know where they came from and you know what's in them. When you're shopping, it's also good to look at where's the sodium level, MSG, what are the things that are in that seasoning that you're using to prepare your food. That's been a big difference in our own eating style. And then it says, incorporate a moderate amount of antioxidant-rich supplements such as red wine, dark chocolate, and green tea. Incorporate modest amounts of antioxidant-rich. Incorporate modest amount. Some of us that are modest amount is where we get in trouble. But those are those tips that Dr. A shared today. We're talking about things that I can put in my body. Watching and maintaining that healthy weight is one of the biggest factors you're going to give to yourself. Eating the healthier fats, really restricting the unhealthy fats. Avoiding overcooking and burning your food. Eating more low glycemic fruits and vegetables, focusing on the vegetable end, trying to get that 5 to 7 servings of vegetables and 1 to 2 servings of fruit. Eating more fiber through whole grains in your day. Watching the enriched, the processed foods. Watching the sugar, the carbs that are in the foods. If you're looking at your labels, when you're looking at nutrition label, the total carb, the amount of sugar, I like to make sure that everything that I put in my cart has at least 5 grams of protein, at least 3 grams of fiber, and I really try to keep it 5 grams of sugar or less. That's kind of a gauge that I use when I'm shopping. Doesn't always file exact, but it's something that it gives me a place to start, and it helps me be really mindful of what is going in my cart and how is it going to serve me, not just in the weight loss phase, but in the lifelong phase. And the other part that I started with today is moving our body, because sitting is one of those factors that contributes to the inflammation in our body. So getting our body moving, even if it's just standing up and stretching at your desk, getting up off your butt and moving, stretching, are all good things that are going to help you remove that risk of increasing the inflammation in your life, into your body. I hope this served you today. I hope you liked the fact that I took a little bit of time to share with you what I'm learning with my coach, my ultimate coach, Dr. A. The transformational system that he has to help us not only change our eating habits, but our mental habits and our behavior habits. It's a combined system that has been a game changer for how I've been moving forward in my health, but how I'm also seeing clients really make big strides in their big picture of health. If that's what you're looking for, it's a great opportunity to look at that book. Have a great day. If you want to learn how to get that book, reach out. I'd love to tell you how. Have a great day.